All right, and welcome back to Tipsy Tech Talk, where tech meets taste, and tonight, a little romance.
Oh yeah,
Haha. I am Joey Ruff, resident bar um, dude, and with me, as always, of course.
Joseph Reibold, local IT guy for an IT company here in town.
Yeah, so we are. This is our Valentine's episode. Um, don't worry, it's not just us. um, but we want to do something a little bit special for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Currently, we're kind of in the middle of a snowmageddon, and we really haven't left and go anywhere in a few days. Thankfully, Joseph is right across the street, so it's easy for him to jump over. But you know, you don't. Valentine's Day doesn't necessarily mean having to go to crowded restaurants.
that's true.
It doesn't have to mean spending an arm and a leg and and all the fancy cocktail. I mean, you go to a restaurant, you can't even get out of McDonald's with a combo meal for under $10 anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? So I mean, you want to go out and have a nice romantic meal, have some wine, have some cocktails. You're gonna be spending a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
So we took a different approach, maybe partly inspired by not being able to get out. If your Valentine's plans fall through and you can't make the reservations that you made, guess what? You don't have to worry about it. We are going to talk a little bit about kitchen tech, and we're going to show you with our special guest just what it takes and how easy it can be to make a really great restaurant quality meal at home.
Yes. And what's great about this episode, it comes out the week before Valentine's Day, which if you're viewing this now, that means you should hurry up and get on your Walmart Plus subscription or Best Buy or Kroger or whatever. Not Best Buy, that wouldn't do you any good. But Kroger or whatever, and get your food ordered so that you can do this exact thing next week for your significant other.
That's right. Get all your produce from Best Buy. It's on clearance this week.
Yes, and I haven't even had anything to drink yet.
Oh, we can fix that. So, a great part about any kind of dinner, honestly, but especially a romantic dinner, is setting the mood with the right cocktails. We've got three very different cocktails. You don't have to take all of them into your dinner plans. With your special person. But it gives you some options. We've got some bourbon, we've got some tequila. That old saying, tequila makes your clothes fall off.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
a romantic right there. And then of course we've got gin, which we did some gin a week or two ago.
Yeah.
So we're kind of building on things that we've already done. And so a lot of this stuff you should have already in your home bar if you've been following along. So that's exciting. We're just going to show you how to combine a couple things a little bit differently. And, if you do need something else for the tequila cocktail, for instance, we're breaking out a very Italian herbal liqueur that isn't really for everybody, but you can get it for pretty low price. So.
Well, I do think it might be suggested to the audience that if they're going to have the tequila, they wait until the third cocktail, just in case. You'd hate to miss out on your food.
Hey. You never know. But, we will be doing tequila numero.
Oh, okay.
Numero dos. Numero. I can't just say number. We're going to do a tequila number. What? That doesn't make sense. Numero dos. I haven't been drinking it either. So, we've just been snowed in and we're getting a little stir crazy and we're not really thinking straight anymore. So,
that's right.
Oh, forgive that. But we are going to jump in. We're going to show you the first cocktail so you can start, make it along with us. And then we will jump into the kitchen and we'll go upstairs into the inn. The bar we're in, the bar that you see every week, is in the basement of a historic hotel. This place is 200 years old. We're going to go up to the kitchen and we're going to introduce you to our special guest, who is my favorite chef of all time. So, one is not Chef Boyardee. So we will do that momentarily, but first we are going to start off with our bourbon cocktail. And for this one, we're going to break it down with Casey Jones Distillery.
There we go.
Right here locally, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, about 30 minutes down the road.
Yep, just like Superman right there.
Just like Superman, super cocktails. We're going to kick it off with their wheated bourbon. This is Casey Jones Wheated. There's a lot of amazing distilleries within an hour's drive of us here. And it's really hard to go wrong with anybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, these guys are going to be a little bit less less intense than HK Young.
Okay.
A lot lower proof. This guy's 95. I mean, it's no slouch, but it's not 120 either. So,
Yeah.
you can last a little bit. And then, honestly, too, one quick and easy easy cheat, because we're all about cheating a little bit. Not on Valentine's Day. It sounds weird, but there are shortcuts you can take. If your date is not a cocktail person, maybe they're a wine drinker. Wine and Valentine's goes really well. Wine and bourbon, you may ask, also goes great. We're breaking out Pocatera Winery, which is about 30 minutes the other direction in Benton.
Okay.
Small local winery. John, who is the master vintner, is that maybe the word? He is third generation Italian winemaker.
Okay.
He's still using his grandpa's press. The word Pocatera, the name of the vineyard, it's Italian for little land. So they're a small vineyard. They only want to be a small vineyard, and they make incredible wine. This is their Chamberson Reserve. Chamberson is the grape that they grow right there on their property.
Okay.
30 minutes from here. So
Nice.
super, super cool. Wine and whiskey. Two loves paired together in a beautiful harmony. Let's make this. This drink is called a New York Sour, which is going to build on the bourbon sour, whiskey sour that we made
Just a couple episodes.
just a couple episodes ago. So you already know that. We're just going to add to it, and it's going to be beautiful. So we're going to readjust the camera a little bit, show you how to make this thing, and then we'll head on upstairs.
Okay.
All right, now with this bourbon sour, New York sour, we are going to build everything in the glass. We're going to fill it with ice. We're going to start with 2 ounces of bourbon, which will be the full part of your jigger. It's a lot of ice. I think I've filled my glass too high. All right, we're doing, this is simple syrup. No, it's not. This is sour mix. Sour mix that we've talked about in the past, which is just simply lime juice, lemon juice, and sugar. You can make it yourself. You can buy it in a store. Whatever you want to do. Shortcuts are allowed. And then what we're going to do here, this is your whiskey sour. Okay. We may have mentioned in the past, with a whiskey sour, it is not uncommon to throw an egg white in there. Make it fancy. There's a technique to that we're not going to talk about in this video. But if you've seen it, if you know how to do it, by all means do it. It'll just make it a little creamier. So what we're doing now is we take the wine and we're going to float it on the top of this glass. It's going to be beautiful. And the way we do that is we take a bar spoon. And we're going to turn it upside down. So the round part sits above the glass. And then rather than pour it into the drink itself, where the momentum will drop it down into the glass, we're going to break the fall by pouring it on the spoon and letting it just kind of hover at the top of the cocktail there. So, New York Sour is beautiful. We always like to take a drink stirrer and stick it in the glass. What's fun about this is you sip out of the stirrer, you get the whiskey sour, you sip from the top, you get the wine. I recommend doing a little of both, and then take them and shake it up, mix it all together, and you get a completely unique flavor that is so incredible, so delicious, and a slow sipper also. There's a lot of alcohol in this cocktail, so luckily you're planning on staying in and cooking and not going anywhere. So a little bit of alcohol is not going to be a bad thing. Now, like I said, we did use Casey Jones wheated bourbon. They also make a really incredible product that would be really great in this, and it is their it's really just moonshine. It says spirits distilled from corn and cane. So this is their moonshine. They make a lot of moonshine, but they finish it in a red wine barrel. So this is going to pull a lot of the flavors from the wine. So maybe you don't like, the whole cocktail experience. You just want a simple, neat whiskey, but you like the wine influence. This is a great one. You can pick this up in at least a liquor store around here in Kentucky. So, all right. we will take this and we will go upstairs and we will return here in a little while.
All right.
Well, and we are upstairs. This is the kitchen. And our special guest this evening, I told you my favorite chef is my wife, Allison. So we have brought her in to show you how to make the best restaurant quality Valentine's dinner at home. We've got some great kitchen tech that she uses often and loves, and she's about to show you how to do it and walk you through the magic of making a killer meal.
Yeah. So making a meal at home doesn't have to be difficult. It can be pretty simple, and I know it's intimidating to a lot of people, but with the right tools in the kitchen, you can definitely make this work, and you can save a lot of time and jump to the cooking part. But I do love the actual prep work, and I love spending that time in the kitchen with Joey. He's probably the best sous chef, but then again, after 20 years of marriage, he probably knows how to get around me in the kitchen. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite tech tools that I love to use in the kitchen, and we are going to make a very elevated dinner that doesn't have to be complicated, but looks complicated.
So what's on the menu?
All right, so tonight we've got filet mignon with roasted Brussels sprouts, a little spicy kick, and some roasted small potatoes. And then we also are going to do a whiskey sauce to go with that steak. And one of the things I like to mention is it's good to cater your meal towards your loved one. So we're looking at steaks, we're looking at temperature of the meat, we're looking at sauces. Like, I know he loves whiskey. I mean, both Joseph and Joey love whiskey. So, look, they put a little bit of them and a little bit of me in here and made this amazingness. So we're gonna jump into this. So I love to drink while I'm cooking. It's fun. You should have fun. Turn the music on, and let's get started.
Sounds good.
All right. So the first thing you need to do for prep.
Yeah.
The day before, you can do this. So you can knock all this stuff out of the way, and your romantic, significant other can be like just ready to be wowed. Is you need your little food saver. This guy's great. I took the filet mignons and put them in food saver, sealed them up. I actually put them in the freezer a few days ago because we had a crazy snowstorm, and popped them out and put them in my sous vide. So let's jump over to the sous vide.
Sounds good.
Well, and for those of you that don't know what a food saver is, you can get them at Sam's Club. It's a vacuum sealer for your food. The sous vide that she just mentioned is a French word that means, what does it mean? We just looked it up.
Vacuumed.
Vacuum.
Little vacuum.
Little vacuum. Something like that.
Which makes no sense. It's really just a warm water bath.
Yeah. So you vacuum seal your food before it goes into the sous vide. Keeps it waterproof because you're submerging it.
Yeah. Also good for keeping your lunch meats, your vegetables, anything in your refrigerator for a little bit longer time.
So yeah, this is February 7th that you're watching this, maybe February 8th if you're a day behind. You've got just a couple of days. Go get you one of these things, and you can enjoy what we're about to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the sous vide.
So I mentioned earlier how you really want to cater your meal to your loved one. My husband loves his steak medium rare. So as you can see on here, I have 124, and you're like, if you're a cook at all, you're saying, hold on a second, that is really rare. But yes, the sous vide is a water bath. So I'm gonna kind of let that drip down inside so we don't make a giant mess everywhere. And then I've got what I mentioned, those little food saver bags. These are all now perfectly at 124 degrees. I'm going to sear these bad boys up because otherwise they're going to be a soggy little mush thing. So when we sear them in this really hot cast iron skillet, which is also one of my favorite old techs, it's going to cook it a little bit longer. So we don't want to overcook it. So I underdid the time on the steaks there. And as you can see, we also have some potatoes and we have some Brussels sprouts, and we're going to need to get onto those because those are going to take a whole lot longer than those because those are just sitting and waiting for us. So we're going to move over to this fancy new little ninja gadget that I have, and we're going to take a look at that. Okay, so this little guy is quite amazing. I thought I was gonna preheat this oven for you guys, but it literally takes less than 2 minutes to preheat. So what we're doing is an air roast, and we're gonna put the potatoes in first because the Brussels aren't gonna take nearly as long, but we're doing air roast. It says 45 minutes, but we're gonna keep an eye on it because I'm gonna call its bluff and probably will be able to pull these out in about 30. 425. So you want to adjust your temp right here up and down. You want to adjust your time right here up and down. You want to make sure your function is on air roast because you have a gazillion other options. This little guy is great. Like if you don't have an amazing oven at home, this little oven, it'll bake, it'll dehydrate, it'll do pizza, it'll do bagel.
Air fry.
I really love all Ninja products. They're pretty reliable.
Yeah, we've been using Ninja pizza ovens outdoors for 2.5 years.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I even have like a Ninja blender. I have Ninja everything. Ninja, if you'd like to sponsor at all, we will take whatever you want, and I will put it in front of everybody. So anyway, so we are gonna hit start, and then we're gonna come back in a minute, but we're gonna watch it.
And I'm gonna hold these trays for 2 minutes.
And he's gonna get arm day.
Pray my arms don't give out.
All right, you don't have to. We gotta wait. We do have to wait for that. Drink time. Okay, so we're back. That was a whopping 2 minutes, as I predicted. Just watching the clock. We're gonna go ahead.
Well, hold on. Before we do that.
Oh, well, let's show you what we did.
Let's talk, because this looks incredible. It's the tiny little small potatoes, cut in half, some of them quartered for the bigger ones. What did you put on these?
Okay, so I'll have Joseph drop all my recipes into the link. Super easy. So I love to get me a Ziploc bag, and then I start cutting my potatoes up. These are the small potatoes. Get them at Sam's Club. And then I pour some olive oil in there. I put minced garlic, probably about 2 tablespoons because I'm sorry, there's no such thing as too much garlic. I usually would love to use fresh herbs, but we're in that season where we just don't have that available out in my garden. So I used a little bit of thyme, a little rosemary, a little oregano, of course, some salt and pepper. Don't over salt and pepper. You can always add that later, but just a little bit of that. And then the olive oil. Tossed it up, and then it was ready to go, sitting to wait for this to preheat. And then with the Brussels sprouts, same thing, Ziploc bag, cut them off, cut off the little ends, and then chopped them in half. Olive oil, salt, pepper, but I like to add probably about a teaspoon. Don't do too much, and depends on your heat level, but a little heat to that because, gets the heart pumping, and it's Valentine's Day, so, you want to have all the...
Is that cayenne? Is it
just some cayenne. Just some cayenne on it. You could do crushed red pepper, but cayenne's a little bit more subtle, not as big of chunks in it.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. But if you like garlic, you can add more garlic to that. You can do whatever you want. But we're going to put this guy in on level 3, which is right here. And we're going to let him go. This guy's going to wait because he's not going to take as long. So we're going to let that go and let it start doing its magic. And we'll come back, add this in, and then we'll start working on the steaks.
So, Allison, I was looking up the information about your little Ninja over there.
Yeah.
Of course, Ninja is also Shark. Shark Ninja is the same brand. This is the Ninja Prestige Smart XL Air Fryer and Countertop Oven. Looks like it's got 10 times the convection power of a built-in oven. It also has Smart Surround Convection to get that all-around crisp with no movement required. It has 10 cooking functions. You mentioned some of those earlier. And it complements your countertop. It looks fantastic over there. Just a note, in case you might have been wondering, this thing is plugged into 120 volts AC here in the States, and it is not safe to go in your dishwasher. Because,
oh, no.
It's electrical, so don't do that.
Yeah, and
Also, it's too big for a dishwasher.
Unbox the trays from the cardboard before you put it in the oven too, because they have that little memo on there, because clearly somebody did that.
Yes, and it is a whopping 26 pounds, so have your significant other, your guy friend, carry it in for you. Unless you are just independent and capable of doing it yourself, then go for it.
Yeah, I did squats with it earlier.
There you go.
Do you want to?
Oh, all right. So you don't have to do everything. So it doesn't have to be complicated at all for you. So use a cheat when you need a cheat. So we have a great bakery here locally. They do an amazing job. I like to cook. I'm not so much of a baker because I say cooking, you get to color outside the lines. Baking is a science. It's very difficult to color outside the lines unless you really know your scientific nomenclature. But the cupcake ladies who are here locally in our area, they do an amazing job with baked goods. So I got their amazing yeast rolls here, and all I have to do is add a little butter on top and pop them in the oven for 5 minutes. Just follow their instructions, and these are ready. So just a little additional add that you don't have to do, but you can just go get something local in your area and just elevate your meal even that more.
And if you don't have cupcake ladies, you don't have something local bakery that you love, just Sister Schubert rolls, those little tins, those are great.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with those. So you can find them at every grocery store.
Unless you have Snowmageddon, and then you can't find any bread whatsoever. So
you can always get your Sister Schubert rolls at Best Buy.
What?
That was a callback to earlier.
Yes.
I've never bought Sister Schubert rolls at Best Buy.
Yeah, you won't ever buy
No.
food at Best Buy ever.
No. But yeah, so cheat away. Cheat how you need. Buy a dessert. Buy whatever. Buy a cheesecake and then add your own little compote to it. Or if you and your other person like to cook together, maybe he or she is a baker and you're the cooker, and you guys can tag team on it. So that's always fun too. I love doing things together.
Well, and like they say, if you had to stir it, it's homemade.
Absolutely.
So
I'm not sure how we stir this, but
put it in
somebody
the
else
oven,
homemade it.
You cooked it from home. So that's how it works.
All right.
Well, I think we just let this go, and then we'll drink some more of our drink.
We will head downstairs and make the next cocktail.
Yep.
While we wait on the next part of the process.
Yep.
So
okay. We'll see you guys in a second.
I'll just dance in the kitchen.
Okay, and we're back down in the bar in the basement. So we are kicking it off with the cocktail number 2. This is called the Siesta Cocktail. The Siesta Cocktail is a relatively recent addition. It was created, I want to say 2002-ish by a pretty prominent bartender. And it's risen to popularity. So we are going to start off with a pretty decent Blanco tequila. This one that I've got here is the Super Bird. It's got a cool bottle. It looks like a tattoo with a bird and a skull and all that stuff. Pretty good, kind of run-of-the-mill tequila. It's definitely not one you're going to do shots with and, like salt and squeeze a lemon or a lime. But it's not super high-end either. We are putting this in a shaker. All right, 2 ounces of your Blanco tequila. Okay, then we are going to do lime juice, 1/2 ounce of lime in my shaker. 2 ounces there. We're gonna do grapefruit juice. Okay, 3/4 ounce of grapefruit juice. Tequila and grapefruit, lime, kind of like a Paloma, right? I think we did a Paloma. Did we do a Paloma a couple weeks ago?
Did a margarita.
We did a margarita. Well, Palomas are kind of like a margarita, but made with grapefruit. All right, we are going to do a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Right there into that. Set that to the side. All right, what makes this drink different than any other drink is this guy right here. I teased the Italian spirit. Campari. Campari, not something you're ever going to drink by itself.
Okay.
At least, I'm not going to. But it's very bitter, very herbally. It's an Italian aperitif. So, I'm sure Italians do probably drink it after dinner. It's kind of like a digestif kind of thing. Not my cup of tea. But we're going to throw 1/4 ounce of Campari in here. It's going to change the flavor of this cocktail just enough. Give it a little bit complexity. And now, if you don't have Campari, if you can't find it, if you don't know what it is, Something that's the cousin of Campari you've probably heard of is Aperol. Aperol Spritz is a pretty popular drink. Campari is about 22% alcohol. Aperol is like 11. So it's about half as much. It's not as bitter. It's not as strong. It's a little bit more citrus forward. So if you don't like the flavor of Campari, but you do kind of like the idea of this cocktail, Aperol will get you there, and it'll make you feel fancy without, you know, the grapefruit already has a bitterness to it. So if you don't want to double down on it, add a little bit extra citrus. So we're going to add ice to our shaker here. And then, of course, we are going to shake. So all right. And then we strain it into our glass like so. Boom. And then we can finish that off with a lime. If you have a grapefruit peel, something like that will give you a good one. So kind of looks like a Cosmo, but definitely does not taste like a Cosmo. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, well, let's head back on upstairs and check and see how the cooking's going.
Fun fact story, when I first got this, I had no clue what it was either, so don't feel stupid. I was like, oh, thanks, it's a Sous Vide. Oh, my girlfriend nearly fell over going, I gave this gift to the wrong person. But no, she didn't. I love it. I use it all the time. All right, steaks. All right, here we go. Look at this bloody mess. It's beautiful. Medium rare already. But here's the thing. When you sear stuff, you want to make sure you get rid of the water and liquid. So we want it to go on this paper towel here, and we're going to dry it off. That's what we're going to do. So then we can sear it up in some nice, yummy butter and olive oil. So now you get to watch me do this. All of it. Make sure your hands are washed. Mine are clean. So pretty.
So Allison, while you are doing that, I think it's also good to note that you might, think back to a couple episodes ago that we talked about smart home tech and different things that you can have. We've also talked about smart home bars, and today we're kind of getting into some smarter kitchen appliances. Not that any of these are Alexa enabled or anything like that. However, Joey does have something in this room that is bona fide smart home tech because he's got a Echo device over there that in between takes we've been listening to some good music. So just a reminder to you guys that if you haven't created your smart home at home, there are lots of ways to get that started. And sometimes Alexa is the easiest one. So again, be mindful that when you say stuff to Alexa, it does go to some log and some server somewhere out in the world.
People would be really bored if they had to listen to what I had to say all day. Or I would be famous and then people would be listening to me all the time about how I cook. Because I do talk to myself a lot.
Hey, there we go. So just keep that in mind. But if you want to spruce up your smart home tech, maybe Alexa is the initial way to start, and then you can go from there, whether that's Home Assistant and Zigbee or Z-Wave or some other tech after that.
I don't even know what Zigbee or Z-Wave is, but I'm going to tune into that one. So I made this lovely little butter mixture here. It's been sitting out, so it's kind of congealed itself. But I just basically melted the butter. I added a little garlic powder, again, some more rosemary, thyme, and oregano. Literally, we're going to be searing this at a very, very high temperature. I like to use olive oil because it has a higher heat smoke range. We will probably be smoking up the kitchen anyway. So if you have a sensitive fire alarm, beware. But this is what we're going to do. So we're going to do a little butter, a little olive oil, and we're going to take it over to the stove here right now. All right, so we've gotten this skillet nice and hot. We are gonna pour, I don't know, it's probably like 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil in. I mentioned to you this little buttery mixture here. We're gonna do that. This is hot. Keep in mind your handle gets hot too. Don't burn yourself. Nobody likes date nights, Valentine's Day with somebody in the ER. Use protection. Sorry, no pun intended. All right. All right, so we're gonna put these bad boys down, face down, and they're gonna get hot, nice and hot. I'm gonna make sure that oil gets all the way around this cast iron. It's like arm day. Nice. There's a sear that we want to hear. You'll get a little pops. Don't be shy. It does hurt a little bit. It's not bad. You want that to be nice and hot. Let it go. We're gonna let that go for a minute. This is our bloody mess over here. But while that, you wanna get the other side. Get this side seared up nicely. I like to use tongs when I'm working on searing. I don't know about everybody else, but I mean, you'll figure out what works best for you. But tongs are great because I can control without splattering. I'll choose my red tongs for Valentine's Day, my bloody Valentine. In the meantime, you can wash your hands.
Allison, you alluded to it earlier, but you mentioned that skillets, not skillets, but a cast iron skillet is some of your favorite old home tech.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because we described when we talked about smart homes that technology and its advancements are really for the betterment of people in their homes or elsewhere. So a cast iron skillet was one of the early forms of technology that would help people be able to cook things over a campfire, similar to Dutch ovens and things of that nature. So just a reminder that just because your tech doesn't have electricity in it, doesn't mean it's not tech.
And this is a Lodge. It's pretty classic Lodge. There's plenty of other cast irons, but I will say it seasons up. People say don't use soap and water in them. I feel like once it's seasoned, I still use a little bit of soap and water. I'll even scrub really hard because especially searing stuff, you'll get some grit on there. But we're going to do some fun deglazing later, and I'll show you that. But it's my favorite because you don't have the Teflon, you don't have all the other stuff. Everything everybody's worried about. Cast iron is just a pretty darn good, solid piece of equipment to have in your kitchen. And I pretty much only cook on this or ceramic.
Yeah.
That's about all I cook on.
I personally have a cast iron skillet at home that I use for steaks, and I also use for venison and deer steaks as well.
Look at that. That's a beaut. All right. Just a little longer. Those are beautiful.
It should be noted the potatoes came out 2 minutes ahead of time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they almost went the full time.
Almost. Don't leave your cooking utensil on your thing. It'll get hot.
Ooh.
I know.
Those look incredible.
They're beautiful.
Oh, man. Ooh.
So we got all this good butter and olive oil happening here. Got a little extra butter if I feel like I need it. I'm not sure I'm gonna. I might take a little bit of it. But I've got a whiskey sauce I'm gonna make in this pan afterwards because I'm gonna use all that seasoning from the steak that's in here and just how that's cooking. Just a little bit longer, but we don't wanna go too long because we like that medium rare. Sometimes, that's a great thing about cast iron is it cooks so evenly. This little guy is smaller, so we'll pull him out. But oh, it's just getting beautiful. Yeah, these are just pretty. These are beautiful. All right, steaks are done. Now, they need a rest so that all of that can just kind of simmer down for a second. So we're gonna set these aside right over here. And then we are gonna make a little whiskey glaze. I'm going to take maybe just a couple. Well, that sucked. I usually use a knife, but you know, don't want to dirty something else up. Just use your tongs. So we're going to do that. I've got some amazing whiskey here. I think we're featuring Casey Jones tonight. And then a little beef broth. This is about a cup of beef broth, a half a cup of Casey Jones. And then we've got a cup of heavy cream, which will go in later. And then I've got these lovely little onions that I'm trying to dig my way to because I have very itty bitty surface space in my kitchen. I don't know about you guys. I'm not Rachel Ray. Not a huge kitchen. Welcome to a 230-year-old hotel. So let's get rid of that. And because we're in cast iron, you don't even have to use the Teflon stuff. We're going to turn this down a little bit because we don't need it too high. So I'm going to remove it from the heat for a second. Just let it kind of simmer down. But we're basically we're about to deglaze this pan. It's actually really kind of beautiful. Using all those bits from the steak. All right, put it back on there. And also for safety, you don't ever want your handle to be out in the way. So as long as this eye's not on, you're safe. Otherwise, it needs to go the other way. All right, let those cook up a little bit.
So while that's going, it's super nice. This episode has been super easy for me because for the most part, I don't have to do anything tech-wise other than just hang out and have a good time. So like always, you know, we're into our second drink, second cocktail here, and be moving to our third. But we have been drinking water in between. So Mom, just for you, we're drinking water. And also because it's Snowmageddon and I have to be able to make it home. But don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly. And if you're going to make a fancy cocktail and a fancy dinner for your significant other, make sure you do it safely and you get all your prep done beforehand so you don't have to drive after having had your first cocktail.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Yeah, we've been stuck here since Friday, so all is good. All right, so these are starting to get, what you want to see is like a little translucent. Typically, I would use like a sweet yellow onion, but what I had today was some red onions. Honestly, it's just a flavor profile. Don't get caught up in, you need a red onion or you need a yellow onion. Sometimes color's pretty, but we do eat with our eyes. But in this case, they're starting to get some translucency. So what we want to do is we want to add in our lovely little Casey Jones whiskey, bourbon. Let that cook down for a couple of minutes. I wish this was smell-o-vision because this is like the best part.
It smells fantastic.
That's so good. Look at that. And so it like literally does the cleaning for you. Look at that. You can see it in the pan. You have like no mess. So this is all going to come out really nice until I add the heavy cream. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. This is an easy pan to clean.
So what's in the other?
So this is beef broth. You got a cup of beef broth. We'll put the recipe down in the wherever Joseph puts it. I don't know. It's technology. It's magic to me. I just like to cook. And then I've got heavy whipping cream. But if you do have like any sort of like dairy issues, if you have any dairy, this is a heavy cream. And if you have any dairy issues, you can always use like an oat milk. I like that one as a good alternative. Any of those are fine to be used. You can also just omit this. Maybe you like wine and you want to deglaze with wine and some mushrooms simmered. You can totally do that. This is, you know, choose your own adventure here. I was just doing something a little different along the lines of what my husband likes. So that's kind of what I was doing. But we're waiting for that to simmer down. And then it's looking so pretty. Oh, look at that. We're just making a little sauce. We're gonna add some beef broth. Oh, look, my sous chef at his finest. And then with the beef broth, keep in mind the beef broth already has some sodium in it. So again, I don't like to over salt. I'll just do, I don't know, I usually do like 10 of these. I have no idea what I'm on, but somebody can go back and count that and laugh at me. But that's usually about it.
This is what happens when we drink and cook.
Well,
some of the alcohol goes into the food.
It's also coloring outside the lines. This is where you don't need science or like so much salt has to equal this to make it rise. You know, this is where you can kind of like figure it out.
We had, at one point we had a dish towel that it said chocolate chips. You measure that with heart and not by, you know, recipe. So you just keep adding chocolate chips into your cookies or whatever, and that's how it works. So it's okay. You do it by heart.
Except not salt. Unless you're my mother. I hope my mom's not watching. Sorry, Mom. Love you. Mean it. Always make sure you have your own salt shaker. My grandfather was the same way. They love their salt. So.
Wait on the eye.
We're going to do some pepper. I love the crushed red pepper, or not crushed red pepper. I'm sorry, crushed black pepper. Always delicious. All right, we're going to let this simmer down for a little bit. Then we'll come back in a second. All right.
With the rolls right.
So we're about to put the rolls in. This is about to become the almost end. We've got about 5 to 7 more minutes here on the whiskey glaze, and I'm going to add the heavy cream. Ooh, heavy cream. And then it magically disappears by my Joey. So then we're going to let that now cook down a little bit longer, about 5 to 7 more minutes, so it can thicken up, because that's what it does. And if it doesn't thicken up, I have some tricks for you. So let's let that go for a minute, actually 5 to 7 minutes, and we'll put these guys in a hot minute. Hey, so I mentioned I don't bake, but I do. So I made this morning. It kind of broke a little, but I still think it's beautiful. It's my sourdough. So I don't really do heavy gluten, but I can do sourdough. So sourdough is another option amongst the yeast rolls, but that just gives the guys a lot more yeast rolls to eat, and they will. So bread. Pretty. It is. I don't need to do any tricks. This did its thing like it was supposed to. My kitchen ghost is here today. That's really beautiful. Okay, there's your sauce. So this is where I plate things up and the guys go back down to the bar and make another drink.
All right, for drink 3, we're back in the basement again, and this next drink may be my new favorite. It's a different kind of cocktail. I've not been super familiar with it, but it's one that dates back to like the 1800s.
Okay.
When it was invented, when it was most popular. It's making a comeback now. So this cocktail is called a shrub. And the shrub, the name of that comes from this shrub mixture right here. Very red, very beautiful, very, very tasty. And what this is very simple. Because you can have shrubs in any flavor, really. It's a fruity, sweet, very complex syrup. Like a simple syrup, where we combine the equal parts sugar and water. Instead of sugar and water in this, we're doing sugar and we're doing apple cider vinegar, and then we're adding fruit. So the correct way to make a shrub, it takes time, because you take a mason jar, you add sugar and fruit for a day or two, let it emulsify, which just means, pull all the juices out of the fruit. You get the sweet juice that comes out of it. You can pulp down the fruit and get all the extras out of it. Strain the chunks out, because you don't want any chunks in it. The chunks will go bad of the fruit, and you won't be able to keep this very long. And then you're going to add the apple cider vinegar. You're going to seal it airtight. You're going to store it in the fridge for like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's something that you need to plan ahead and take time. However, there is a shortcut. And that is to throw everything into a pot on your stove and cook it like you would a simple syrup. Okay, the reason people don't like to do this is because it just doesn't taste as fresh.
Yeah.
Right? When you take the time and you have it done the longer way, you're going to be like, oh man, you could really get the freshness out of the fruit. And so, and a good shrub is going to last you, a couple weeks in the fridge. So you can make it ahead of time and it'll be great. We're just going to build this thing in the glass. So I am going to get ice, wherever I find my scoop. All right, we're going to put the ice in the glass like so. We are going to take the gin. This is one you may remember. This is out of the Dueling Grounds Distillery in Franklin, Kentucky, just south of Bowling Green, so not too terribly far away. We are going to do 2 ounces of the gin. And you can make a shrub with vodka as well. So if you don't have gin, because it was not included in the home bar, and maybe you just don't like gin, you can do it with vodka. You won't get as much complexity in the flavors, and that's okay. But you will enjoy the shrub very, very well. Either way, you're going to do just an ounce of the shrub mixture. So it's thick, it's syrupy, it's delicious. We're going to pour that in there. All right. Here, I'm just going to give it a little quick stir. And then we're going to top it with club soda. So just fill the glass with club soda like so. This is a Strawberry Gin Shrub, and maybe this will be your new favorite cocktail like it is mine. So great in the summer. We are far from summer here, but if you have a fresh strawberry, if you didn't use all of it in making your shrub, you can go ahead and just put a little cut inside of the strawberry, rest it on the rim. It'll look beautiful. Put a straw in it, and then you can cheers as a Valentine's toast. So
There you go.
all right, we're going to take these cocktails, we're going to head back upstairs, and we are going to see. I think dinner's almost ready.
All right. Awesome. Well, Joey, Allison, we've got some fantastic plates set in front of us. We've got our third cocktail prepped and ready to go. A little sipped out of while we were waiting there, along with some water.
That's a good shrub.
We've got a good shrub. We have nice and juicy, just like your significant other. And it's Valentine's Day, or prep for it anyways.
We're good with that.
So we are about ready to go and partake of all of this food. Joey's going to taste test a little bit here.
So good.
So drink responsibly.
Yep.
Yes.
drink water, and use protection.
Yes. And if you happen to be in a snowmageddon like we are, just remember to stay warm, stay safe, don't drink and drive, but stay tipsy as long as you're not driving.
That's right. And
We'll
man, if you do make this meal at home, send us a note. Let us know how it turned out. There is a thing called Pinterest fail. We hope you do not have that. But, we want to see either way. If you do try to do this, let us know. If you have a better meal that you think is your go-to Valentine's Day, let us know that also.
Yeah.
Next week.
Challenge accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Next week is Valentine's Day that you'll be watching this. So we're going to hit on something that we were talking about last week and tech we love. And we're just going to have some casual conversations about the technology and the things that we enjoy and the kind of bourbons that we are, kind of mixed drinks that we enjoy.
The cocktails we love, the tech we love, and the people we love.
That's right.
I love these guys.
All right. We'll see you next time. This is Tipsy Tech Talk.
Cheers.